Hello, I'm Dr. Anthony Brown, president of the Dreamforth Foundation. We all know one of the challenges to attending college, it's paying for it. For years, we've partnered with the College Girl Foundation and my good friend, Jessica Brown. It's their mission to help young people and their parents pay for college.
Our guest, want to introduce a bright young lady, and very impressive too, to the audience here on Grace and Glory. Her name is Jessica Brown. She is the CEO of collegegirl.com, which I understand takes a position to help girls with their financial aid and college tuitions, right?
Yes, so it's more that they just call me College Girl, but okay. College Girl is really helping all students and families around America understand how to pay and save for college.
So you're College Girl?
Yes, I'm College Girl.
Okay. So you're helping students as it relates to financial aid?
Yes, so I'm helping students and families understand how to make the best informed decisions around financing their post-secondary education. As you know, student loan debt is more than credit card debt in America, and it is one of the biggest investments that a family can make in their lifetime. So if they don't properly financially prepare for their college education, they will be in an exorbitant amount of debt when they graduate.
So what sensitized you to this challenge?
Well, when I was in school, I just saw a lot of students going home for minimal balances. I mean, you're talking $500, $1,000, which doesn't sound like much, but it's a lot to families that are barely making minimum wages in different parts of the United States. And seeing some of my friends have to tirelessly work to fund their education and still not be able to graduate because they are short. So it's just, that was what really empowered me to do this.
Okay, so how did you go about it? How did you get started?
So how I got started was I started speaking in my church in New Jersey with a program called D-Free, where my pastor, Buster Soaries, goes across America and teaches African Americans specifically how to manage their debt. Okay. And then so I was doing their college piece, and then from there I was like, you know what, I want to write a book. And I started to write the book, How to Pay for College When You're Broke, and it just took off.
Wow. And I understand you've had an opportunity to travel around the country, not only with that message, but also to promote your book, right?
Yes. I've had an opportunity to be on lots of different news networks around the country, you know, just helping families make a realistic plan that realistically meets their needs and works for them.
You know, this is the 21st century, and we had this conversation before we started. You know, there's been a lot of rumblings about free college educations in America. What are your thoughts about that?
I believe education should be free. I mean, many of these institutions are getting endowments over $500 million annually. Wow. And you're telling me that
on top of that,
tuition isn't free, and you're having your students pay for, you know, an education. Education should be a right, equal and open to all who want to go and access it. Because as long as you are educated, you can never be controlled. So it is so important that we continue to seek resources, hopefully, until that change happens.
And that's where you come in.
Yes.
How often do you do your workshops?
I do my workshops. Typically, it depends. Sometimes once or twice a month. It just depends on where I am in the country, and of course the client on who wants me to do the workshop, and just kind of helping students beyond financial aid, making sure they understand credit as well, because that's one of the things that is not taught in college institutions.
So let me ask you this: if one of our viewers, maybe a pastor or maybe a facility would like to utilize your services, how would they connect with you?
They can connect with me by emailing info@collegegirl.com, and of course the girl is G-U-R-L, and you can connect with me there, and I'll be more than willing to, of course, host a workshop for your congregation and really help work together to make sure our students are going to college.
So at the end of the day, you're on this crusade to try to help anyone who envisions their future being impacted by college, that opportunity, and not be held back because they can't afford it.
Yes, it's because it's so important, and because the thing is, even when you go to college, right, you still want to secure life's luxuries, a car, a house. But how can you do that with all this student loan debt that you have to repay? So then you're grown and still at home because you have no choice but to move back with mom.
Wow.
Because you can't afford all your student loan bills that you have to pay.
What do we do about the student loan? I've heard so many horror stories about student loan bills. I mean, people who have been out of school 20, 30 years, and the debt is still there.
The debt is still there. It's so important that we research scholarships. I mean, every year, annually, over $100 million in America goes unclaimed in scholarship funds.
Unclaimed?
Unclaimed. So that means that our students are not going out and researching those opportunities that can help defray their educational cost.
Now, I hear that, but okay, I'm a student. So how do I start the search for that money? Do I seek you out? Or
of course you can seek me.
Yeah.
However, there's like an app called Scholly, Scholly, that students can utilize that will filter scholarships based off of what they checked off that
criteria.
Relates to criteria. Yeah. And they won't be past deadlines, which is sometimes one of the hurdles students face when they're searching for scholarships. All the deadlines have passed. Also, maintaining good grades. Like, students think that money's going to just fall off the sky, but if you are not being academically competitive, you will not be eligible for those funds.
So when would you suggest, as we prepare to close out, when would you suggest a parent and a student start that process of seeking out those loans?
As well, financial aid and scholarships as soon as possible. It's never too early to begin researching.
10th, 11th, 12th?
Especially maybe by 11th grade, when you're really pinpointing the institutions that you want to go to and you know how much they cost. That's when you really need to get on the grind of researching and making your to-do list so that you're prepared.
Well, listen, we appreciate you sharing. You gave us a lot. That's good. Jessica Brown, and the website again is?
collegegirl.com.
Thanks, Jessica. And thanks to Grace and Glory for allowing us to share that segment with our Dream Foundation audience. Don't forget, we're getting ready for Sensational Summer Night 12. Meet us at the Gordon Performing Arts Center on August 23rd. And for more information on paying for college, go to collegegirl.com. Be blessed.